There is definitely one thing boneheaded boaters love doing out on the water, and that's going to be either running into or hitting things while they're out there, just like some of the things we're going to witness in this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. Now this one's definitely interesting. It's not uncommon for us to get sent one angle of somebody running into something, but it's definitely uncommon for us to get sent multiple angles of the exact same incident. Somebody definitely had to see this one coming for multiple people to have their cameras out while this happened. Now I'm kind of surprised we didn't get multiple angles of this one because this one probably happened in slow motion. These big ships, when they come in toward the dock, it never really happens fast, but that doesn't mean the damage isn't big. Typically when they come in, they're going to hit her hard. You guys let me know in the comments below what you actually think caused this one. I can't really see the helm at all from here, but the damage, we can definitely see that. Like they always say, if you love something, let it go and let's see if it comes back to you. I'm just guessing this guy really loves his trailer. Now back to the old boneheaded boaters being out there and hitting things. One of those things the boneheaded boaters definitely love to hit when they're out on the water is going to be hitting the sandbar. Apparently hitting their pets is not off limits as well. Now of course, every time those boneheaded boaters get out there and hit the sandbar, the case is a little bit different. Sometimes it's nothing but fun. You get out there, enjoy your day, and move on right after that, enjoying the rest of your evening. Other times it becomes a group effort to get off the sandbar. If you find yourself in this situation, of course, there's only one real primary rule, and that's put the person you like the least at the stern of the boat, and the person you like second least at the bow, because that's just as bad if the boat actually takes off. Now my question in this one is, how in the world did you actually miss this thing? Yes, sometimes there are smaller markers in the water that can easily be missed, especially if there's a current maybe pulling them a little under the water, but this one's absolutely massive. I just don't understand how this one even happens.
No, we were lucky.
They definitely were lucky to be behind this vessel because this boat's about to go for the three-peat on ramming into things.
Now comes now he's gonna go into the Pershing.
I mean, I thought hitting the tiki hut was bad enough, but now we're going into yacht-on-yacht crimes as they're going to take out a Pershing and a sailing yacht all in one shot. I mean, based on the name going top shelf, that means they typically don't mind springing for the finer things in life. Hopefully they sprung for some high-end insurance on this one. But my real question on this one as well is kind of like what we see happen in almost every event like this out on the water. We're going to watch this guy running two of these boats. He's been filmed. We can tell what the yacht is by the name on the back. Do you think he actually stuck around after he did this, or he just went ahead and left? Because it feels like every time we see something like this happen, the boat just moves on. Like, it's like nothing happened, they just take off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, now he's going to squash the sailboat.
Now, as we've mentioned, the boneheaded boaters love getting out there and hitting things when they're out enjoying a day on the water, but what happens when they can't get the boat out? Well, they'll hit the water anyway. My guy here is taking that full send dude out on the water to a whole new level with this one. And in theory, our guy here is doing a twofer on the hitting things out on the water. He's hitting the throttle and he's already hit the bottom. Now this one's a little interesting. They're trying to move a boat on the bottom and he winds up hitting a boat on top, again falling in lines with hitting things, but this has got to be one of the most impressive catches I've ever seen in my boating life. But now my real question is, do you think this was intentional to get this boat down for them to catch it like that? Or was this just a complete accident fluke and it just happened to work out that way? And speaking of accidents and flukes, nothing like being a boneheaded boater getting out there, hitting the fuel dock a couple times and smacking a few other boats while you're out there, but then having nothing but pure fluke luck of having a real captain around to come save your butt after you've messed around for a while. Here we can see this crew is absolutely struggling to get back out of this marina, but fortunately for them, somebody's gonna come to their rescue. Another captain witnesses all this happen for several minutes before finally that captain has seen enough and decides he's gonna go out there and lend a hand. But you never know how that one's gonna go. I mean, how would you handle it if this was you trying to get your boat out and all of a sudden you were just stuck and then some random stranger decides to jump on your boat and take over for you and try and get your boat out? Would you accept the help? Or would it probably turn into an argument once they set foot on your boat? We never know which way this one's gonna go, but here, looks like he took the help and that was probably the best plan for them. Now it looks like these boneheaded boaters decided to hit the beach, but it looks like they hit it just a little too hard. But the confusing part on this one, how in the world did the boat get buried? I mean, how long has this thing been sitting here for it to wind up like this? But from what I understood when these pictures were taken, it really had not been there that long. So it's still a confusing one that it would get sunk that far. And I guess the reality of what's even more surprising in this one is this is a pretty nice newer boat. You would figure somebody would come salvage this one pretty quickly to try and see if they could save whatever's left of it. But for it to be buried like this out on the beach, it's been there for a little while, and it doesn't appear that anybody's in any rush to come out there and get it. But knowing Florida like I know it, I'm actually surprised there's motors, electronics, speakers, or anything still left on the boat. That one's quite shocking to me, actually. Now, while our last crew decided to leave theirs on the beach, this guy's decided he's going to do everything he can to get his salvage while he's out on the water, working on trying to get something out of the old jet pump out there. How long do you think you can leave this upside down for like this before it starts to take on too much water between the seat and the engine compartment, where you might wind up in trouble? Here we see our guy's gotten whatever he was trying to get out of there, and he's getting it flipped back over. Now it's time to see if she runs. Looks good to go, and sometimes that's all the boneheaded boaters really want to do is get out there, not hit the beach, not hit the water, but get out there and just hit the throttle and let her rip. Now, one thing I am curious about when I watch scenes like this, how many props do you think our guy goes through in a season when he's running skinny water like this? I have to imagine there's going to be the occasional stump bump that's going to happen when the water's that low. But our guy, he winds up navigating it, making it out into the deep channel pretty easily right here, which is pretty impressive. But thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out in your waterways, be sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram and let us know, and you might see your stories over here. Just like Crazy Wakeboarder, Ryan Parent, Noel Werda, DM Fly Fishing, Andrew Cavallata, SMX Ryan, Wander for Distraction, Adam Coolidge, and Lacey Nicole did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.